Good morning, student. Myself Manoj Chotia from Raghunath Vidyalaya, Ratangad. We are studying chemical coordination in human being or the endocrine system of human being. In this chapter, we studied types of gland, exocrine gland, endocrine gland, and mixed gland. Among them, in detail, we are studying endocrine gland. In endocrine gland, we studied hypothalamus and pituitary gland. Now, today's our topic is thyroid gland. Thyroid gland. You can see the diagram of thyroid gland. This is the larynx or a vocal cord of human being, and this is trachea. So, the thyroid gland is between or above the trachea, or we can say it joins with ventral and lateral part of trachea in cervical region. Means the thyroid gland is found in cervical region and it joins ventral and lateral part of trachea. And our next gland is parathyroid gland, and parathyroid gland is also situated in between the follicles of thyroid gland. Means whenever we talk about the thyroid gland, the gland is made up of many spherical follicles. Means thyroid gland is made up of many spherical follicles, and among them or between them follicles, parathyroid gland are found, and the number of parathyroid gland is 1, 2, 3 and 4. Number of parathyroid gland are 4 and number of thyroid gland is 1, and it joins the ventral and lateral part of trachea in cervical region. There are some small or 1 mark questions are being made on this gland. So you remember them. First of all, the structure of this gland is H-type gland. ये क्वेश्चन एक बार बोर्ड के एग्जाम में आया हुआ है, ठीक है, तो ये आपको याद रखना है. It looks like H-shaped and its color is pink. And another important question, it is the largest gland. It is the largest gland, which endocrine gland. If we talk about the endocrine gland, then it is the largest endocrine gland. In adult person, it is 5 centimeter long, 5 centimeter long and 3 centimeter wide. In adult human being, it is 5 centimeter long and 3 centimeter wide in size. Average weight is 25. Average weight is 25 gram of this gland. Slightly, just like pituitary gland, it is slightly larger in woman compared to men. It becomes smaller in old age. Means as age is pass away, then the size of this gland is reducing. Okay, so it becomes smaller in old age. Now, this gland is made up of many spherical follicles, and among them, these follicles, among these are the spherical follicles by this gland is made, and a yellowish jelly like transparent colloidal substances iodothioglobulin is filled in the cavity of these follicle cells. In between follicle cells, connective tissue stroma is also present. Parafollicle or C cells. Parafollicles or C cells are present in some places in stroma, and these C cells, remember, these C cells produce the hormone calcitonin, or the C cells secrete hormone calcitonin. Means this gland secretes 3 types of hormone. First of all, thyroxine or tetraiodothyronine or T4. Next, triiodothyronine or T3 and calcitonin. And these 2 hormones means thyroxine and triiodothyronine are jointly called thyroid hormone. Tetraiodothyronine hormone or T4 is formed by iodine and tyrosine. So you have to remember, it is formed of iodine and tyrosine. Tyrosine, you know, tyrosine is the amino acid. Tyrosine is amino acid which we studied earlier, and iodine, triiodothyronine, and next calcitonin. C cell thyroid gland synthesize the this hormone. This is stimulated by excretion of calcium ion in urine and reduce breakdown bones. Now function of these hormone. What are the function of these hormone? Mostly this hormone increase all types of biochemical reaction, just like energy production in cells of speed of life by increasing oxidative metabolism, so it help in body growth. This hormone increase glucose absorption by intestine, oxygen consumption, and basic metabolic rate. Basic metabolic rate, BMR, is also increases by this hormone. It increase heart rate and function of enzyme, protein synthesis, gluconeogenesis, body temperature, and nerve activity. It plays a significant role in metamorphosis of tadpole into frog. ये क्वेश्चन एक बार बोर्ड की एग्जाम में आया हुआ है, तो यू हैव टू रिमेंबर, जो फ्रॉग का लार्वा होता है उस फ्रॉग के लार्वा को कहते हैं टेडपोल, और ये टेडपोल मेटामॉर्फोसिस या कायांतरण के द्वारा कन्वर्ट होता है किसमें? एडल्ट में. इट प्लेज अ सिग्निफिकेंट रोल इन मेटामॉर्फोसिस ऑफ टेडपोल इनटू फ्रॉग. तो क्वेश्चन क्या आया था कि अगर मेंढक की फ्रॉग के टेडपोल से थायराइड ग्लैंड को हटा दे तो क्या होगा? व्हाट हैपन इफ वी रिमूव द थायराइड ग्लैंड इन अ टेडपोल ऑफ फ्रॉग? देन व्हाट इज द रिएक्शन? The tadpole is not converted into adult. वो कभी भी adult में convert नहीं होगा. So this hormone make a role in metamorphosis of tadpole. Next, it perform function of osmoregulation and molting, is called blooded vertebrates. It increase activities of neurosecretory chemicals, means जो neuro hormones होते हैं adrenaline और noradrenaline, उनके सिक्रेशन में भी ये क्या करता है? हेल्प करता है. नाउ द डिजीज, टू टाइप्स ऑफ डिजीज आर स्प्रेड बाय थायराइड ग्लैंड, मींस हाइपोसिक्रेशन एंड हाइपरसिक्रेशन. बाय द हाइपोसिक्रेशन, क्रिएटिनिज्म, मिक्सोडिमा, गोइटर एंड हाशिमोटो डिजीज. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल क्रिएटिनिज्म. दिस डिजीज कॉज्ड बाय डेफिशिएंसी ऑफ thyroxine in childhood. Physical and mental development becomes slow. Physical and mental development become slow in this disease. Hands, legs become deformed. Children remains dwarf. Children remains dwarf. The basal metabolic rate decreases. Such type of children are called creatines. Such types of children are called creatine. Their gonad are also not developed. They are infertile. Now myxedema. All same characters of myxedema, but these are in adult person. These are in adult person, means this disease occurs due to hyposecretion of thyroxine in adult, including creatinism symptom as hair fall, lack of memory, skin becomes yellowish, lack of memory and skin becomes yellowish, and reproductive capacity is also decreases in this disease. Such persons are beneficiary by using thyroxine hormone. Goiter, you know very well about goiter. It is the disease by thyroid gland enlarge and neck become thick by swelling. This disease is due to deficiency of iodine in diet. Generally the disease prevent people living highly या और hilly एरिया, जो पहाड़ों में जो लोग रहते हैं उनके अंदर ये डिजीज होती है. और लैक ऑफ आयोडीन इन वाटर, वाटर में आयोडीन की कमी से. फोर्थ, हाशिमोटो डिजीज. यू हैव टू रिमेंबर, इसके ऊपर बोर्ड में परीक्षा में प्रश्न पूछा जा चुका है. सुसाइड ऑफ थायराइड is called Hashimoto disease, and this disease is also called autoimmune disease. This disease is caused by the formation of antibodies against the given medicine to cure hyposecretion, which is identify an antigen. This antibody destroy thyroid gland, so it is also called suicide of thyroid. More secretion of thyroxine in hormone from thyroid gland causes symptoms like increased metabolic rate, increased heartbeat, irritating behavior, more sweating from body, shivering in hands, feet. So these are the characters of Hashimoto disease. Now hypersecretion. By hypersecretion, exophthalmic goiter. Exophthalmic goiter means in this disease mucus is deposited below eyeball and blogging of eyeball in person. eyeball जो है वो बाहर की तरफ निकल जाती है. such persons have horror vision. ऐसा लगता है उनको देखते हुए भी डर लगता है. seems like staring. उनकी आंखें जो है वो बाहर निकल जाती है. नेक्स्ट प्लूमर्स डिजीज. जो थायराइड ग्लैंड होती है उसके अंतर्गत क्या होता है, नोड्स बन जाती है, गांठें बन जाती है, उसको अपन क्या कहते हैं, प्लूमर डिजीज. और ग्रेविस डिजीज. ग्रेविस डिजीज के अंतर्गत क्या होता है, स्वेलन कंडीशन ऑफ थायराइड ग्लैंड इज कॉल्ड ग्रेविस डिजीज. नाउ पैराथायराइड ग्लैंड. पैराथायराइड ग्लैंड. पैराथायराइड ग्लैंड इज सिचुएटेड इन बिटवीन spherical follicles of thyroid gland. It is embedded in dorsal surface of each lobe of thyroid gland, and number of parathyroid gland is 4, and each parathyroid gland are 6 to 7 millimeter long and 3.4 millimeter wide and weight of 0.03 gram. And hormone secreted by this gland is parathormone, or one scientist Collip discovered this hormone, so this is also called Collip's hormone. And the function of hormone, this hormone increases excretion of phosphate and reabsorption of calcium by kidneys and intestine. It regulates calcium and phosphate ions in blood. It helps in muscles contraction, nerve impulsion, and blood clotting. Blood clotting, because we know with the help of clotting factor 8th and 9th, calcium is also help in blood clotting. So it help in blood clotting, in promote main important function. And जिसके ऊपर एक क्वेश्चन बन सकता है कि ये हार्मोन क्या करता है, प्रमोट करता है किसको, सिंथेसिस ऑफ विटामिन डी, विच इज हेल्पफुल इन बोन फॉर्मेशन. नाउ हाइपोसिक्रेशन से कौन सा डिजीज होता है, हाइपोकैल्सेमिक टिटेनी, और हाइपर सिक्रेशन से ओस्टियोपोरोसिस एंड ओस्टियोसिस फाइब्रोसा सिस्टिका. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल हाइपोकैल्शियम टिटेनी. हाइपोसिक्रेशन से क्या होता है, लैक ऑफ पैराथार्मोन इन अर्ली चाइल्डहुड लीड्स टू डिक्रीज इन कैल्शियम लेवल एंड इंक्रीज फॉस्फेट लेवल इन ब्लड, बाय विच स्टिफनेस एंड स्पैम्स इन मसल स्टार्ट्स ड्यू टू सडन इंक्रीजिंग द एक्टिविटी ऑफ नर्व्स एंड मसल. दिस इज कॉल्ड हाइपोकैल्सेमिक टिटेनी. एंड बाय हाइपरसिक्रेशन ओस्टियोपोरोसिस. ओस्टियो मीन्स बोन्स, पोर मीन्स पोर और छिद्र, यानी अस्थियों में, हड्डियों में क्या हो जाते हैं, छिद्र हो जाते हैं. हाइपरसिक्रेशन लीड टू डिसोसिएशन ऑफ कैल्शियम फ्रॉम बोन्स. एज अ रिजल्ट कैल्शियम लेवल इन ब्लड इज इंक्रीज. इट इज कॉल्ड हाइपरकैल्सीमिया. बाय दिस bones become breakable, soft and porous. This disease is called osteoporosis. And second, osteosis fibrosa cystica. Increased level of calcium in plasma causes calcification in soft tissue of body, by which increasing amount of urine and thirst increase the stones formed in kidney. Kidney में जो stones हो जाते हैं उसको क्या कहते हैं, osteosis fibrosa cystica. So for treatment of hypersecretion, enlarged part of gland is removed. Now our next gland is thymus gland. Thymus gland. This gland is located just in the front of heart near the trachea. After puberty, its size decreases continuously. In human, it remains just like a cord in old age. The gland is known as main organ of immunity training center. Training center of T lymphocyte, because T lymphocyte produce the antibodies for the human, and this gland is training center because T lymphocyte is mature by the secretion of hormone thymosin, means thymus gland secrete hormone thymosin. This hormone helps in formation of complete immune system. It stimulates lymphocyte to destroy bacteria and other antigen. In old age, with growing age, the production of thymosin decreases and completely stop. So in old age, old persons have less immunity. Function, it helps in maturation of gonads also, and it is responsible for immunity. Means this gland is responsible for immunity in animals, and it helps in maturation of reproductive gland. Now our next gland is pineal body. Pineal body is located on whole stalking arising from hypothalamus in middle of the posterior region of hind brain. It is whitish flattened small gland which is covered by thin membrane of pyometer, durameter, arachnoid are the membrane of a brain. It is developed from embryonic ectoderm. It is about 150 milligram in weight. Now hormone secreted by this gland is melatonin, and this gland is also called sexual biological clock, and it has two types of cell. You have to remember, pinealocyte and neuroglial cells. Means two types of cells are found in this gland, pinealocyte and neuroglial cell. So this gland is as sexual clock. Blind children of human attain puberty before time, and the children live in a high sunlight area also attain puberty soon. It is due to less secretion of melatonin. Now our two next gland are gonad gland, means testes and ovary. Gonad glands, two types of gonad are found in male, testes, and in female ovary is found, and these are called gonad gland. As we studied reproductive system of human, in reproductive system we studied about testes and ovary. So these are the gonads because they can secrete gametes. Testes is a male sexual gland. Intestinal cell or leading cells in testes are endocrine in nature. One pair of testes are located in scrotal sac outside the abdomen cavity, and these testes are secrete two types of hormone, testosterone and androgen, and these are the responsible for secondary sexual characters, and this secretion of hormone are controlled by LH and ICSH. LH means luteinizing hormone, ICH intestinal cell stimulating hormone which is secreted by pituitary gland, and these two hormones control these two hormones, testosterone and androgen. Androgen hormone is responsible for development of secondary sexual character in male. Testes and the vocal cavity is so high, and the soldiers are so hard, and male have strong than female, and mistake and save is coming in male. So these are the secondary sexual character. Now another one mark question is appearing here, orchiectomy or castration. Before attaining puberty, the removal of testes by surgery is called orchiectomy or castration, which is decreased secretion of male hormone and person become neuter. Primary and secondary sexual characters can't be developed in him. By this technique we can use in livestock for development of castral steer, and in animals then the management of animal is so easy. Now ovary you know this is found in female, and ovary gland three types of hormone, estrogen, progesterone and relaxin. Estrogen hormone is secreted by Graafian follicle, progesterone by corpus luteum, relaxin by corpus luteum. By the follicle cells, whenever follicle cells make a layer around the ovum, one layer, two layer and three layer, then we can say that this is Graafian follicle, and this is also help in secondary sexual characters, just like uterus, oviduct, vagina, clitoris, breast are developed by this hormone. Soft voice, menstruation cycle starts, buttock becomes heavy, complexity, sex desire is also developed. Now whenever Graafian follicle remove ovum from it, then it is converted into corpus luteum, and corpus luteum secrete two types of hormone, progesterone and relaxin. Progesterone hormone is secreted by a corpus luteum. Corpus luteum is controlled by both luteinizing hormone which is secreted by pituitary gland, and this hormone is responsible for leads to development of breast Growth and activation of mammary gland. Necessary structural and physiological change required for pregnancy, increasing blood circulation in uterus wall, accumulation of fat and glycogen, etc. Now, relaxin hormone secreted by corpus luteum and its function is to relax pubic symphysis joint at time of parturition. So this hormone is helpful in childbirth. Hyposecretion of estrogen hormone leads to decrease in development of secondary sexual characters in female, irregularly in menstruation cycle, and hypersecretion of estrogen hormone leads to irregular menstruation cycle and continuous increasing the level may be lead to danger for cancer also. So these are the glands called gonad glands, and gonad glands secrete estrogen, progesterone and relaxin by ovaries, testosterone and androgen by testes. Now next two gland remains adrenal and pancreas, which we will study in our next video. Thank you for today's class.